So thank you guys for coming today. We have a very special guest, Heather. I'm so happy. Give a round of applause for her. Woo! I'm so excited because this amazing person, I'm going to share a little story how we met, which will answer Angel's question when he got here. I told him he had to wait until you guys came because then I'll ruin chapter 7. So Heather comes in, you ready for this? With like a workout bag. She comes in, and me, maybe it's a Chicago thing, but I could read people real quick. So when she came in, my mind was going like, I already know who she was a little bit. So I said, can I ask you a quick question? She's like, yeah, you can ask me anything. Are you a boxer? She goes, how'd you know? I said, I don't know how to tell you, but I could see it. You got the look. And it was so cool. From that, we got connected. And after that, she's like, you know what? You should come to my boxing class. Just be you and me. I'll show you a good workout. I was like, man, be an honor. I said, look, I'll bring my camera. I'll make sure you look fresh. Cha-ching! Let's do it. So we get there, right? And by the way, she told me something I highly recommend. She said, please eat a meal before you take my class. You're going to pass out, because it's all cardio. All cardio.
Oh,
really?
But then, okay, I'll ask questions later. Oh,
okay, yeah, please. Thank you. Hold it. Don't leave it. Don't
Write
lose
it down.
it. Yeah, don't lose it. And the crazy thing, there was a moment where we switched. I said, hey, Heather, can I ask you a quick favor? Can I hold the pad? Because I want to do a little move, and you hit the pads. And she said, are you sure you can handle my strength? I said, honestly, I'm a little scared, but I'll take it. You see? And when she hit it, I'm not lying, boom, my hand with the pad went like that. I was like, wow, she got power. I said, all right, let's do it again. You know, action. It was so like a beautiful moment. And after that, I had her on the podcast, but one thing that she said that was so nice that I'll never forget, she said, I think the universe brought us together for a reason. I believe in manifestation. I said, I love that. I said, that was so deep. It hit me right here home. And then I did a 5K, and Heather hits me up. Bloop. Are you going to go? I said, bloop. I'm definitely going. And we went. She brought her friends, I brought my friends, and we ran. It was like a very nice bonding moment. That's how I knew that she's family now, like for sure.
Yep.
So tonight, right? Tonight, I call it the Midrash class or soul session. It's where we dive in. It's different from Shabbat, which you've been to. You also been there, Heather, first time. So this is a little different. So I have a question for you guys. Only you three can answer. That's where we left off. That's when you guys opened the door.
Wait, only who three?
Who three?
Imani, Vianney, and Heather.
So females only.
Yeah! Kawhi is back. You see that? I love that. So you ready for this? So the question I have for you, what is your favorite movie?
Oh, I can answer that. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Ooh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Okay. And yours, Imani?
I love Marvel, so Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Selena, it makes me cry every time.
I love that, man. See, I got the chill. Look, I got the goosebumps went up. But it's crazy. So now that you shared something very personal, your favorite movie, the next question I have to ask you is, you being a fan of that movie, what do you have to do if you want to know more about that movie? That's my question.
If you're a fan, I say you would have to rewatch it multiple times. Like, it's not one of those movies like it's one and done. Like, if you really enjoy the movie and you really want to get every single angle of it, then you have to rewatch it multiple times, because you do get a different perspective watching it a second time and a third time.
Wow. Okay. Any other?
I would say talk about it, because when you talk about it with different people, they have different perspectives. They have different ways of how they saw the movie. So talking about it with people.
I like that. Heather?
I would say the same. Watch it again and again, because every time you watch it, it's going to be through a different lens based on what you already know about it.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. You guys gave great answers, but it was the wrong answer. I'm sorry to break the news.
You were looking for
I was looking for one. So the secret is, and back in my days, that's how you know I'm getting old. But back in my days, you get the DVD and it has behind the scenes. So you can see more of how they did it, the actors.
Okay.
So Midrash in Hebrew, the best way I break it down, Midrash means behind the scenes of the Bible, the Torah. Zohar says it's the secrets of the Torah. So that's the best way I can break it down with Midrash. So I'm going to share a little story. It's a very short story that makes me think of Heather. It's a beautiful story. One of my favorite stories. It's about a guy named Samson. Anybody knows who Samson was? It's a quiz.
No.
Samson?
Samson.
He was about to say the
Creator of the bone.
Okay, so be ready for this. Samson had long hair, very long. It reminds me of Hercules, very strong. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the way I think of him, right? Like very buff and strong, you know? Like when he said, take off your clothes. Like that, very strong, very strong. Sorry, that was the Terminator. That's a line he always said. I'm sorry, guys. I got excited.
Terminator says, take off your clothes?
Yeah, in the beginning scene, because he needs some clothes.
Oh, yeah. When
he came naked.
He's naked.
Yeah.
So the two junkies.
Yeah. See, he does. Thank you, brother.
That's the only part I remember.
Yeah.
See, I watched that one once.
Oh, okay. We
That
let you
was one of
slide.
the favorite movies.
So it's a crazy thing, right? So Samson, they say in the stories, right, that he was able to defeat a lion with just his fists. Not only that, he was able to fight 100 people, soldiers, all together. Now, my theory is he had to know some martial arts or boxing or something. Ain't no way he was so strong he took them all out. I really feel he had to know moves to take them out. They all had armor and swords, and that's the only way it made sense in my brain, you know, like Bruce Lee. So the crazy thing about Samson, he meets a beautiful lady. And he's showing off his move that he could pick up a whole pot. And the crazy thing, there's a connection, okay? And Samson really loves this girl. He's like in love with her, okay? He goes to the parents and said, hey, Mom, Dad, I want to marry her. And the parents go, no, it's not a good idea. She's not Jewish. But Mom, she's perfect. Now, before I go longer into stories, you ever heard the saying that if you want your partner to be the one, introduce them to your parents first. If they approve them, you get their blessings. If not, you get a curse. That's kind of how it is. Because if you think about it, if your soulmate or partner doesn't get along with none of your family, your parents, how are you supposed to eat together? You know what I'm saying? If they don't talk, right? It's a little awkward. You're like, okay, are we done with the dinner? Or, you know? So just keep that in mind, right? So eventually Samson convinced them, the parents, to say, okay, we'll give you the blessings. We'll do it, right? So they get married, have a big party. They invite all these soldiers. Crazy thing, Samson was so smart. He was really good at riddles. I'm not really good at riddles, so if I give you one, I'm gonna fail. I'm sorry, I'm not that great. But the crazy thing, he kind of made a deal with the soldiers. He said, I'm gonna give you a riddle. If you can figure it out, I'm gonna give you this as a prize, something like that, right? And the soldiers, they were jealous of Samson, of his gift, of being a leader of the community. He was also a judge. He did a lot. So they're like, we have to find a way so we don't look stupid in front of this guy. So they actually go to the wife of Samson, say, hey, if you don't give us the answer about this dumb riddle, we're gonna hurt you and your family. So of course, the wife actually went to talk to Samson to figure this out, get the answer, and report back to the soldiers. Samson found out, like, how could they find out the riddles, so fast? He realized that he was betrayed by his wife. If you think about it, he felt hurt because you put all this trust in that person. If you think about it, if she would have went to Samson, told him the whole scenario, what happened, Samson would go, all right, let me show them. Don't mess with my wife.
She didn't tell them.
She didn't tell him.
Okay.
So he never knew. So later on, they got divorced. Then he meets another woman, beautiful. And guess what her name was? Her name was Delilah. Hey there, Delilah. Da, 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 da. And it's so true. So crazy thing, Delilah, something about her caught Samson's eye. He said, I gotta marry her. She was also not Jewish, okay? They got married. Now the soldiers and the king of the place, they said, we need to get rid of Samson. We gotta figure out his weakness. They told the wife, if you don't help us defeat Samson or figure his weakness, you not only betray your people, but you betray the king. So you are a traitor. That's how they kind of got to her, because the people in that town, that's who she was a part of. Samson wasn't. He was basically like an outsider. So she's like, I'm gonna have to go with my people. I'm gonna have to go for my king. So she tells Samson, lay in bed. What's your secret? What's your weakness? He said, well, if you braid my hair, or you do this with my hair, cover it up with these sheets, I'll lose my strength.
What?
That's what like, I'm paraphrasing, right? Not the exact, but that's the image I got. Something like that.
Okay.
So the late at night, she goes, Samson, wake up. They're invading our house. All the soldiers come in ready to attack. Samson wakes up and beats him up. She goes, man, it didn't work. He lied to me about what his hair. So she tries the next thing again, and he gives a different answer, and it wasn't it. So you know what she said to make Samson change her mind? She said, Samson, if you really love me, you would tell me your secret of your weakness. Like, what makes you weak? I can't do it like that, but, if my girl told me, I'm going to be like, babe, if this is the only way you love me, I'll do it. So he tells her the secret. You know what was Samson's secret? Cutting all his hair. So late that night, they cut all his hair.
She does.
I don't know if it's her or the soldiers. It's one of them. I forgot which one, but it was late at night. She does the same thing. Samson, they're invading our house. Samson wakes up. For the first time, he actually felt weak. He tried fighting back, and he lost. He got beaten up, became a prisoner, and now he's a slave to the people and to the king. One thing that's really shocking is while he's a prisoner, they take out his eyes.
What?
So he can't see. But imagine this, Samson being a man who lost everything. He lost his family. He lost his wife, the person that he trusted. He's been lied to. He's been betrayed. We've all been lied to by a friend, a family member, even betrayed with someone you're trying to do business with, or friends and family, right? Samson, at this part of his life, he feels like in his lowest moment. But with that little faith, he tells Hashem, he tells God, give me one more strength to take out my enemies. So I don't know if you guys seen the Olympians, like those big, when they're competing, there's one for like the strongest man in the world where they hold two pillars with the chain. And if you can hold it together, you won, basically. Samson was next to two pillars, and it said that he prayed to God. He's like, give me this strength this last time. And he was able to move the pillars, and it collapsed, destroyed the whole palace of the king, and everybody there was dead. But Samson died too. Why am I sharing this? It's because we've all hit our rock bottom. Could have been yesterday, a year ago, but we learn to come back up. And I believe that if you have a little faith, there's always hope. So today we have a very special guest. Now I'm about to pass the mic to my very lovely guest, Coach Heather. Woo!
And then Bessie.
What's like relatable to that story and why we connected and how we met is we started talking about boxing and how I got into it and all that. And I got into boxing because my mom passed away and I was like very depressed. I had just moved home from college, so I didn't have any sports to play anymore. And I'm like 19, I don't know anything about anything. And you know, people thought I like grew up boxing and it was this sport thing, but I was like, no, I was just depressed. I needed to punch things. And one day, one of the guys at the gym I worked at was like, you should come to a boxing workout. And so I just started it as a workout. Like it was just something to do and get my feelings and emotions and anger out because I didn't know how to process it at that age. And then I remember the coach was like, oh, you're pretty good. You should meet this other coach. So then I met that coach and did a workout with him. And he was like, oh, you're pretty good. You should meet this other coach. And I'm just like, all right. Like I grew up playing basketball and softball. I didn't know anything about boxing. And then, so I met that coach and he was like, you're pretty good. You should come meet this other coach. I was like, what is this, like the last bosses of coaches? Like, what's going on here? But I met this coach and he was like hella old school, like Rocky era, Cuban black guy, yelled at us in Spanish all the time. Like he never smiled at me one time. So I thought he hated me. And I did a tryout and then I was like, yeah, this guy definitely hates me because he just old school shit, like didn't talk or smile. And he didn't train girls either. And then I did this workout. And I think he kept trying to break me, but I was so angry at the world that I was like, no one's gonna fucking break me, especially not this guy. And I like everything I had, I put it into this workout. And then at the end of the workout, he was like, he told the other guy, he didn't even smile. He was like, all right, I'll take her. And I was like, wow, I guess he kind of likes me a little bit. But so then I started boxing and this guy was like high level coach, like from Cuba, national champion, immigrated to the States, became a pro. Like I was so lucky to even meet him. And I grew up playing sports, so I already had the athleticism. And then him being that coach, like it was just the perfect storm. And I started fighting, competing, like winning all these fights. There wasn't a lot of girls at these weigh-ins, so I'd spar with boys all the time, like just climbing up in the ranks. And I got really good, but I got really good because I had like all this emotion that I took out when I would fight. And then I got invited out to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, which is like a pretty big deal. I was trying to qualify like for an Olympic route and I was getting offers to turn pro at this time, but we wanted to focus on like Olympics and all that. So I got invited out from a recruiting coach. And the crazy thing is I only ever lost one fight. And the fight I lost is where I got recruited. Because in boxing, even if you do really well, like someone's going to lose. But if you still fight your ass off, like people notice it. So the one fight I lost was where this coach was like, yeah, do 6 weeks conditioning, come out here. So I was getting ready for that. And then I got recruited by the LFL, a women's tackle football league, to go play football. And my boxing coach was like, don't play football, you're going to get hurt. And, you know, I'm like in my early 20s, I think I can do anything. And I'm like, coach, I'm going to play football. Don't worry about it. First game of the season, I tear my ACL.
Oh, no.
My knee's done. And I'm just like crying and so depressed. And like when they called me with the results, I remember I called my dad and the gentleman I was dating at the time. You would have thought they told me that they were amputating my leg. Like I just cried and cried and cried. And because, you know, like that was boxing's gone, football's gone, everything's off the table now. And so I had surgery, rehabbed it, didn't listen to the doctor, went back too early again, re-injured it. Because, you know, I just was like, I got to keep going. And then when I re-injured it, that's when I was like, okay, I need to like actually listen to people. And so I sat my ass down for like 2 years and really rehabbed. But then during that rehab, I got more into coaching. So I started coaching more, training at the gym, and I started doing like women's self-defense classes. And, you know, you really realize like boxing or whatever the sport, it's not really about the sport. It's like the doorway to healing, to processing, to, because I would meet all these other people who were going through things and they just needed something to hold on to, something, you know, there's something about getting all that physical energy out that helps you process these emotions and depression and whatever's going on. And so then I got like really into coaching, and I did go back to boxing and I competed, but it wasn't at that level anymore. There's like tournaments here and there, and I still box, I still spar with people, and like boxing's my whole career now. Like that's how I pay my bills, that's how I make my money. I coach young kids, I coach 80-year-old ladies, I coach people who are high in business, I coach people who are depressed. Like it opened up this whole realm of me helping people get through things. And like I you get close with your clients and like everyone's going through something. No matter how cool everyone seems on the outside, like everyone's going through something. And they come to the gym not just to like look hot and get fit, it's because they're dealing with something or they're processing. And I always think, you know, if I would have never like taken this route, like boxing really saved my life. I never knew a human being could hurt so much until you're a 19-year-old girl and you randomly, unexpectedly lose your mom. Like, you just don't know how to process anything after that. And that's what I've used a lot to like give back to people, is just everything I've gone through. Because it's made me look at people and life in a totally certain light. And like, I'll even get emotional if I talk about it too much. Because there's all these little doorways, and that's why I told him I think everyone meets everyone for a reason. Like, every single person you cross paths with or share a story or do a workout with or tell a story to, like, something happens. It's like the butterfly effect. Like, something happens off that. I will take something probably that each of you has said tonight and think about it at some point. And maybe I'll share it with a client who will share it with this person, and then we'll all be here again. It's just like, you know, I could go on. It's crazy how it all works. But I think circling back to that story, like, and me and him talked about this on the podcast, it's like, no matter how fucked up something is or how terrible, whatever it is, there will be a point where you see something good that came from it. Even if it's like the worst thing you can think of. Once it's processed and behind you, there will be things you could take from it that you could give to other people. And like, I'm always thankful for things people have given to me, but nothing makes such an impact as like just giving your stuff to other people. And I think that's kind of like what me and him connected on. And I was like, dude, even the fact that you were like, oh, you look like a boxer, for us to even get to that story and that point, or for me to be here now and relate to that story, I think, you know, in the big picture, and that's what I try to share with people too, like, you're going to go through shitty shit, but if you process it, like, there was a time where I never thought I would get past it. Like, people meet me now and I'm just like very happy and jovial and always having a good time, and they would never guess, like, dang, that girl used to be depressed and want to kill herself. Like, you would never think that. And I think that when I meet people all the time, like, or sometimes you meet people who are like rude or mean or whatever, I'm like, they're just, something's going on. No one wants to be like that. And if I could just give them a little like piece of this, or some generosity, some optimism, and even do things like this where I just share the story, I think that's really like why we're all here, is to help each other do whatever we're supposed to be doing.